Wonderland is an Oswald cartoon from 1931. It's directed by Walter Lantz and William Nolan, written by Ray Abrams, Vet Anderson, and Tex Avery, with voices provided by Tex Avery and Shirley Reed. And this is, of course, a Walter Lantz Productions Oswald the Lucky Rabbit film. This isn't one of my favourite versions of Oswald. Oswald went through quite a few different character designs, but it's pretty close to one of my favourites. I don't mind the design of him. The film is not at all what I was expecting. Based purely on the title, I thought it would be some kind of Alice in Wonderland based film, but actually, it's a version of Jack and the Beanstalk, so I don't like the title. In fact, I absolutely hate the title. Obviously, that doesn't affect my actual enjoyment of the cartoon. Did I enjoy the cartoon? It was okay. Not a lot happened. It is a pretty standard Jack and the Beanstalk story where Oswald and his grandmother. I love the character of his grandmother. I don't know if she features in a lot of Oswald cartoons, but this is the first time I've seen the character. Love the design of her. They need to come up with the rent, otherwise they're going to have to move out of the house. Oswald trades the cow for some magic beans. They grew into a beanstalk, up Oswald goes and encounters a giant. The giant, I won't spoil it by describing it in any detail, but the giant does not look like what I'd imagined. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It was a little bit different to what I'd expected, and I thought it worked quite well. But what doesn't work is the action or lack thereof. It's basically just a lot of running around. Oswald encounters some other characters, and I think the cartoon relied too heavily on the other characters. It was kind of suggesting, well, here are some other characters to look at, so we don't need to try too hard with making the actual events that interesting because you've got some characters to look at instead. But I didn't really find those characters very interesting. I would have liked Oswald to interact more with his surroundings. One of the fun things about Jack and the Beanstalk stories is seeing the Jack character interacting with giant things. So he looks tiny, and we don't really get that much of that here, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity, and instead they focus too much on the other characters, and as I said, I found them to be not that interesting, not boring as such. Maybe that's too strong a word, but I just didn't care. I would have liked some more interaction with Oswald's surroundings, but the giant's design is pretty good. The design of the beanstalk is good. It's not a bad cartoon. If you like Jack and the Beanstalk in general, then it's worth checking out. And of course, if you like Oswald, it's worth checking out. But it is definitely not perfect. There is significant room for improvement with the specifics of the narrative. But the animation is good. The concept's not too bad. And if you're a fan of Oswald or Jack and the Beanstalk, then I'd say Wonderland is worth checking out. I really hate that title so much. Thankfully, I don't hate the film. I didn't love it, but it's okay.